Hi everybody, my name is Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Eli.
I'm Jason.
And we're the Yah on the Torah YouTube channel.
And we're waiting for Nicole, but she didn't want to pipe in there. She's only 3 feet from the thing. Maybe you can say hi. Hi. Hi, that's Nicole. Yes, and we are the Yah on the Torah channel, and we thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with us. And we are on a holy day. It is a holy day right now. It is a high Shabbat. And for those who are listening to us today, which if this is posted today, this is the day. But if you're listening to this probably in the near future, whenever, it's not. But we are the family that believes that the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator from Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy stand the test of time. It is what we base our life on, is what we base everything on, and it is how we want to live, and it is how our Creator has asked us to live, and it is inside of those Torah, that Torah of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, that we're able to find the keys for life. We're able to find the heart, mind, and soul of our Creator, and the heart, mind, and soul of our Creator is keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of Him. And so we're reading extracurricular books, and we're reading a book. What's this one called? The Enlightened ones or something?
The book of the Natsarim and the Enlightened ones.
Yeah, and so this is like several different books that people put together. I don't know what this book is called exactly. So this is chapter 1 of essentially more of the life of our Messiah. And so let's get into this and let's see the excitement of what it is that our Messiah has to say. Chapter 1. The birth of Yahushua, the Nazarite, who became our master interpreter of Elohim and the Torah, a worthy vessel for the greatest manifestation of the power of the Ruach HaKodesh seen on earth, occurred in this manner. About the time Yochanan, the forerunner, commenced teaching the way of the wilderness beside Yarden, in the year before Herod died, when Augustus Caesar ruled the Roman world, a babe was born. The father of Joseph, son of Heli. The father was Joseph, son of Heli, a carpenter of Galilee. And the mother Miriam, his wife, who had been a virgin pledged to Yahuwah and the temple by her father Shimon, son of Joachim, son of Nathan, son of Eleazar. A decree had gone out that all who claimed kinship within the house of David should be gathered for enrollment at the city of David, called Bethlehem in Galilee. Therefore, Joseph, being rightfully born into the stock of David, took the scroll of his parentage and went to Bethlehem so his kinship could be established. Now Miriam, being heavy with child, longed in her heart to be among her kinsmen, and she prevailed upon Joseph to take her, for Bethlehem was only a day's journey from them. The two, with a servant, came to Bethlehem at eventide, but because so many had gathered, the inns were filled. Then as Miriam's time was close upon her after the journey, a man took pity on her and provided a cave, used as a stable. There the travelers found shelter and rest. That night Miriam's labors came upon her, and she suffered the pangs of childbirth and cried out in pain. Nearby some shepherds were tending sheep, for in the midst of so many strangers, these needed protection, and hearing her cry, went to help. They provided a shepherd's basket which was filled with straw and placed it in the manger, and the newborn babe was wrapped in the clothes brought for him. All right, let's discuss the first 5 chapters, or first 5 verses of this.
Give us a little more detail on his birth. We get to hear that there's now a cave instead of like what we thought he was born like a little stall around the animals. He was born in a cave where they would hold the animals.
And it gives us a little more insight into the life of Joseph and Mary, because it sounds like Mary she's like, hey, take me on this trip, take me on this thing. And a lot of times we had a lot of speculation that they were so poor that they were unable to actually do a lot of this. And so a lot of this speculation has ended in these kind of readings because we find out she wanted to go on a trip. She was going on a trip with her hubby. Okay, 6.
Go back, though, to 2.
Let's go to 2.
It says her father was Shimeon.
Okay.
In Matthew, doesn't it say her father was Joseph?
Here, yeah, it does say her father was Joseph.
Are we missing something?
But that was out of the Sefer, though, wasn't it? That is what Dr. Stephen Pidgeon said, is that her father, remember, Pidgeon was the one that did that, and Pidgeon is probably a false teacher anyway.
Yeah, because he said Joseph wasn't of Judah. It says here he's the house of David.
Yeah.
So I think Joseph is part of Judah.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyone else have anything before we head on to 6?
No.
Okay. 6. And after 8 days had elapsed, the child was named Yeshua, meaning one who delivers. For an angel of Yahuwah had appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, that which lies within Miriam, your wife, is filled with the power of the Ruach HaKodesh and will respond to the hopes of men. Later, men called him Yahushua, And because he fulfilled their hopes and was anointed with power of the Ruach HaKodesh, he became acknowledged as the Messiah.
Okay, so we had Yeshua, and then they renamed him to Yahusha.
That's very, very interesting, right? Because there's been a ton of controversy in the name, Yeshua, Yahushua, or Yahshua.
So they gave
So
him
there
Yeshua,
are
but
little footnotes provided. Down
Yeah,
here.
footnotes. And this is all provided by Adam Fink of the Parable of the Vineyard. He's the one that did all this and put this together. So huge props to him for him putting this together. It's a very beautiful work after we've been dealing with the Hallelujah grifters and their crappy manuscript. This is a good manuscript right here. Okay, let's continue. 7. 8. Now, when the stable was against a hill, beside an inn where sages from the east were staying, men of Sastra, wise in the books of heaven, and of Nimrod, who carried the cross of fire. So Joseph sent for them, requesting they come and foretell the child's future, for such was the custom.
And that's in brackets, so that was one of the ones where they questioned that maybe it was altered.
Yeah, right. And so that would, what would that do? That would break Torah, right?
Yeah, that'd be very wicked of Joseph.
I mean, they come out of Babylon and they're like in Roman Empire right now.
They are in Roman empires.
They might have those things. You know, they are Jewish. I think.
And, you know, I don't know if foretell the child's future is the right word to say, because, I mean, a lot of these people that were anointed by Yah, you would want to go talk to them and see if they have anything. What do you know? But as far as telling the child's future, that's interesting. And so, again, this is in brackets because this was probably something that was tossed in later. So let's continue. 9. One of the sages said, "It is strange indeed, for this child is born under no usual star, but under one that is a star in appearance only and not in nature, having a power not in other stars. He is destined for greatness and will motivate events touching the lives of all men." All right, hold on here. It says it's a star in appearance only. What do you guys think that means? I mean,
it looks like a star, but
There's
it's not
like
a star.
there's like a custom-made star that only showed up like one time.
yeah, something that was only for this specific time. 10. When the word of this was passed around, there was much excitement among those belonging to the house of David. And many, remembering the prophecies of Yochanan, for they had all passed his way, wondered in their heart, "Is this not he whom we wait, the consolation of the Yahudim and deliverer of men?" This displeased the people of Bethlehem, who awaited another deliverer. So there is more issues within the Yahudim, within the Ephraim people, right? Because everybody's looking for this deliverer, and even to this day, you have the so-called Jewish people, the poachers, the Turks, who have taken over the land of Israel, and they yet wait. Everybody's waiting for a deliverer, right? The Muslims are waiting for their Messiah. The Jews are waiting on their Messiah. Yet we have a Messiah that came and went, and will be back very, very soon. Okay, 11. When the sages spoke of the matter at their journey's end in Jerusalem, and word came of the excitement among those of the house of David in Bethlehem, there was great consternation among the priests and learned men. They tried to discover where the babe was, but the sages answered deviously and said, "His star points towards the east." An elder of the house of David, attending the blessing of the child on the 8th day, lifted up his voice and declared, "Surely this is he who has been promised to redeem us out of the hands of evil. This is he upon whom the power of the Ruach HaKodesh will descend, bestowing strength, compassion, and wisdom. Surely he will rule in the king of Elohim." When the king heard about these things, and that a babe had been born, whom many claimed was destined to be delivered, he was greatly disturbed, and summoned the council. With the council were learned scribes and elders who disputed among themselves concerning the babe. Some said that while Yahuwah's anointed would be born in Bethlehem, the deliverer would not, for the birth of Yahuwah's anointed in that place, have been foretold by the prophets. Others said it might not be more than an enlightener who was expected to be born at that time. However, when many agreed that Yahuwah's appointed and the deliverer might be the same person, the king sent 3 men to discover the child. The dispute before the council had been long, and Joseph had been forewarned. So when the men sent by Herod came to Bethlehem, Joseph had departed with his family. They went to the place where the kinsman of Miriam lived. The men who came did not search long for Yahushua, for after the council had been dismissed, Herod slew the son who sat with him on the throne, as he had slain others of his blood. Later Herod died himself. But after these happenings, the Romans did not bestow the title of king on any Yahudi, and it was unlawful for any man to claim the title. In this manner the prophecy was fulfilled, which said, A virgin shall give birth to a son, naming him Elohim with us. He will be the bearer of knowledge, discriminating between good and evil. But before this is given to the people, the land will lose its kings. When the time had passed, Joseph and Miriam came to Jerusalem and stayed at the house of a relative, a man strongly set against wrongdoings and well learned in the Torah. The 40 days having been accomplished for the purification of Miriam, she came to the temple, and Joseph offered the prescribed sacrifice and dedicated the child. Hearing from Joseph and Miriam the things which the sages had foretold about the child Yahushua, the devout man took the babe into his arms and praised Yahuwah in this manner. Because the things foretold have come about, your servant is prepared to depart in peace. For my eyes have been gladdened by the deliverer of my people, a beacon of light for others, and the glorifier of your name. He will teach all men the ways of Yahuwah and how to walk in his paths. So swords shall be made into plowshares and spears into billhooks, and peace will reign over men. Joseph and Miriam could not understand the meaning of this, and asked what was meant. Whereupon the man replied, I hold a sapling which will grow into a sturdy tree, under the shade of which many nations will find peace. Yet he will also test the strength of our people, tearing them apart in dispute. He comes as a separator, dividing the sheep from the goats, showing each his rightful place. He will place a sword in the hands of the weak and strengthen them, and the ungodly will be smitten. After complying with the requirements of the priestly law, Joseph and Miriam returned with the infant to their home in Galilee, a small place in a hollow at the foot of a hillside. There the child grew up, developing a strong body and keen mind, for he was strangely talented. He was wise beyond his years and deft with his hands. And when old enough, he began learning the craft of plowmaking. His parents, following the custom, went each year to Jerusalem for the festival of deliverance. And when Yahushua was 12, they went as usual, but this time taking him with them. Having remained the 7 days of the festival, Joseph and Miriam set off to return home, but let the boy linger in Jerusalem, for a kinsman of theirs was also returning, and they thought Yahushua was in his company. Having gone a day's journey and finding Yahushua was not with his kinsman, they became perturbed, and at first, light in the morning, returned to Jerusalem. It was some time before they found Yahushua in a small outside room of the temple, sitting before an instructor of the priestly law. His parents were astonished at finding him accepted among the learned men, and the teacher expressed amazement at the child's love of learning. But Miriam scolded the boy for his inconsideration, saying, We have suffered much during the search for you. Yahushua answered, Why search for me elsewhere, knowing I must concern myself with the work of my father? This saying disturbed the instructor. Neither could his parents understand the meaning of the reply, but they took the boy away with them. Henceforth, he always obeyed his parents. But Miriam kept these things in the storehouse of her heart. As Yahushua grew up, his intelligence increased, and he was well liked by all. But he was a solitary child, given to wandering. All right, that's the end of that chapter.
So
right?
was Herod like killing every one of his kids so they couldn't take a throne?
All the kings were doing this back in the day. If you were blood related to a king or to something like that, and the king died, there's a chance you could end up with the
Right, but
throne.
would he want his son to have it?
Depends. Everybody's killing everybody. Everybody's trying to take over stuff. You've read stuff in the scriptures before, right? Where like a family member went and killed another family member. I mean, it happens everywhere. Everybody in power has to worry about those wanting that power.
I don't think he'd want his son to take over when he dies, but...
Well, that's the thing, is the kid would kill him before time and kill him and take the throne, right? He's trying to protect his thronesmanship by killing off those who would become king or become emperor or ruler, whatever it is, that nature.
So he's like the last king of, it seemed like, Judah.
Was he even? Was
I think
Herod
he-
even a king
I think
of
he's
Judah?
Roman.
I think he's Roman.
No,
I think it's all
it just
Roman.
says after that, Yahudi no longer ruled over Jerusalem.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a Yehudi like that. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. All right, well, I guess that is it for us. I was going to do 2 chapters today, but I guess this is good. These chapters only get longer, so this is the beginning. So I guess it's the beginning of the works of Messiah Yahushua, and hopefully this is a good story that everybody will like to hear, and everybody will like to hear, and we will get it ready for you guys tomorrow, and we hope you have a wonderful day, a holy day, and have a good day. We love you all.
All right.
Shalom.
Shalom.